It should be obvious at this point to anyone that's been paying any attention at all to what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, with Iran and Israel, that the United States and NATO has done everything that they possibly can to instigate a wider war with someone somewhere. It's obvious that they want World War III. Anyone with a thinking brain that's been paying any attention to what's been going on and what's happened and what's been said would come to that same conclusion. And in fact, about a year and a half ago, I made a video here on my channel where I said that if and when Ukraine's defeat became obvious and inevitable, that the United States would up the ante. The United States pretty much is NATO, but the United States and NATO would up the ante, and they would go into direct conflict with Russia. And we're seeing that now. They're talking about long-range strikes inside of Russia. And Putin did an interview a few days ago, and like he said in that interview, that those weapons could not be manned by Ukrainians. They'd have to be manned by people who are trained in NATO, United States, Britain, NATO troops in Ukraine using those weapons directed against Russia. And he said when that happens, that he's going to treat that, and he should, obviously, because it is a direct attack from NATO country, from NATO troops inside of Russia. That would be like Russia going into Mexico and using long-range weapons to strike targets inside the United States. I mean, it'd be the same thing, obviously. How would the United States react to that? Well, Russia is going to react the same way. And this video here, Alex Jones does a good presentation talking about what's going on and what's going to happen. So I'm going to mute my mic and we'll listen to Alex Jones, what he has to say.
You understand that they have announced 2 days ago that thousands of cruise missiles are being delivered, giant ones, some of them 2,000, 3,000 pound munitions, that they can, again, shoot through your window. They can shoot them from thousands of miles away and hit a Volkswagen Beetle in the windshield. They can shoot it into a windshield. They can shoot some of these missiles, literally, if you bend over, they can shoot it up your ass. Excuse my French. If you open your mouth up, they can have the missile come and go right in your mouth. The cone, right in there. Okay? They can drop bombs on postage stamps. Seriously. They can have the nose of a missile come into a postage stamp. You watch the Israelis with their missiles that they shoot from 10 miles away, and it'll go right in the window of the car, right through the perfectly in the roof, right dead center to a postage stamp. They can do that from thousands of miles away as well. And Putin's like, okay, you've announced, you're already giving the guidance to the Ukrainians. Now you're going to hit us from Europe with these damn things. All right, we're going to hit European targets. And the Russians will do it, people. My God, Hitler killed 26 million of them. Did you know that? And of the Russian and of the Germans that were killed, the 24 million, the Russians are estimated to have killed 22 million. That's right, the U.S. only killed 2 million, along with the quote, allies. The Russians killed and beat Hitler. So if you want to get in World War III, you pick the right people. Same thing with Napoleon Bonaparte. They kicked his ass. So, and they will die en masse. And that's the whole point about it. They will fight you. They will fight to the death. I mean, it's like climbing into a giant gorilla's nest and going over and slapping it in the face. And a lot of gorillas at first will look at you and wonder why you're doing it. But in a minute, they'll just get up and pull your head off and throw your carcass in the ditch. So, or it's equivalent of a grizzly bear. That's usually the Russian analogy. Let's just go up to a giant grizzly bear and then just start punching it in the nose. That's a really good idea. And we're like, well, we'll just blow them off the map. They'll blow us off the map, you damn morons. And I'm not calling our listeners damn morons. I mean Kamala and Biden constantly on vacation. Oh, we can't send F-16s. We can't send tanks. That's World War III. It'll escalate. And now it has escalated. And these psychotic maniacs I've got Politico and Axios right here, are licking their lips. Oh, Putin's in trouble. As early as this weekend, the bombardment of Moscow with heavy missiles is going to begin. Oh, that'll be wonderful when they send in a missile that blows up a whole city block. When you see 20-story buildings falling, that's because they can knock out a building. They'll fly it right into the bottom of a building, just like you saw in Gaza, and you'll see. What do you think the Russians are going to do when the United States and NATO start making major Russian cities? And they're going to hit military bases in the cities. They're going to hit the airfields. They've already said, oh, we're going to hit the airfields where their strategic nuclear weapons are. We're going to hit their bombers. What do you think the Russians are going to do when 4 or 5 cruise missiles come into one of their strategic air bases and they have nuclear weapons stored at them? Well, what do you think the Russians are going to do when their nuclear arsenal starts getting attacked? They're going to fire tactical nuclear weapons into Europe from where the missiles came from, and then 5 minutes later, Europe is going to hit them with heavier missiles, and 30 minutes later, you're going to have submarine-launched missiles vaporizing major U.S. cities. Within 30 minutes, the end of the world, all because we have demons running things